Hi everyone. So today for my book presentation for this week's topic or genre, I chose the book The Stories of the Saints, and it is by Carrie Wallace and illustrated by Nick Thornborough. You can see the book here. Pretty cool cover. And so at the bottom here it says bold and inspiring tales of adventure, grace, and courage. Um, and so just a little background to start off. Basically, this book, The Saints, is about, superheroes of Christianity. And so kind of just those people in history who are um, inspirational to us today. And these people have, extraordinary powers and um, just, courage, like it says. And basically, these people, a lot of them, faced difficult things, and they helped a lot of people in their lives in, inspiring and amazing ways, basically. And kind of in some of these stories, it's about many different people, not just one. And so it explains how, sometimes these stories end tragically, or they have tragic events in their lives, but that they can change the world and help people have better lives and learn from them and apply it to their own lives. And so it contains actually 70 different stories, and so it's really cool to kind of have for especially those children that for a bedtime story or need something to read quickly at school, just a quick story um, to use, and it will help them become more confident and more powerful and empowered in that sense. And so basically the author, Carrie Wallace, she works a lot within, art and faith and justice. And she grew up in a small town in Michigan and lives and works in Brooklyn currently. And so basically, um, as I researched more about her, I found that I had never heard of her before I read this book. And I learned that she actually began kind of, writing stories at the age of 5. And so she was super young. Um, but she was actually the daughter of an English professor, and so obviously she learned from her mom, and she says that her mom gave her a typewriter when she was 7 years old as a present, and she was able to bring her stories to life that she had in her head and that she had been thinking about. And so before she actually had that typewriter, her mom would transcribe little stories for her. And so from even a small child, she was already thinking of these amazing stories. And of course, she was raised Christian, and so her faith plays a big role in her writing. And as she kind of went to college later on in life, it says that she spent at least 1 hour a day of prayer and 2 hours of writing every day. And so just those things kind of, a kind of, form of meditation and reflection of prayer and writing that came, that she used to have these stories come to life. Um, and so her stories are based on that faith that she has. And so, as you can see, so basically, Nick Thornborough, the illustrator, he um, is very focused on creating video game illustrations and things like that. And so he had that prior experience, and then he helped create this book. And so you can kind of see some of the aspects that are a little bit more, technical, and they are very simple but very abstract at the same time, which I thought was very interesting, and the way that he um, illustrated these, the characters in the book, and just kind of some of them are a little bit creepier than others, So depending on the age of the children, this book might be a little bit safer just because of illustrations. And so definitely I would be careful. Probably this book would be good for, the older elementary grades. Um, and so some of these pictures just show, these amazing people in history accomplishing amazing things and just standing up for their faith and what they believe in. And my favorite part of this book is definitely the courage that is shown within the illustrations. Um, and so I just think, it's such a good book to have, especially for this, topic this week, um, because they are, stories that are seen as like fantasies or myths, um, sometimes, but they tell of, amazing things that people have done that help us now. Um, and so just I love these pictures so much. There's just too many to show, so I won't show all of them obviously, but these are just, some of my favorites. And so all these pictures, just like the contrasting colors, is what I really like about it, and just the simplicity, but abstract message that they portray. And so to end, I have a little quote by Carrie Wallace, the author herself, and she says, "I'm very interested in myths, like the big myths of society. When I say myths, I don't mean stories that aren't true, but rather the very important stories that drive entire cultures. I actually think that most genres are the most fundamental myths. The best of literacy fiction is just elevated genre fiction." And I don't know, that quote is just very bold and powerful, to me, and I really love that her purpose in writing these stories about, these myths are to help others, but most importantly, to drive entire cultures. And so it helps, groups of people, and um, helps them become empowered and learn what they believe. And so that is my book presentation.